January-March 1910. A world poised for change. Steamships, early airplanes, crowded European cities, suffragette protests. The year 1910 began with rising tensions and tremendous transformation. Industrialization had reshaped cities and economies. Inventions like the airplane and radio hinted at a bold new future. Social movements pushed for reform, women's suffrage, labour rights, and colonial independence. But behind this progress, a coming storm was brewing in global politics. May 6, 1910. Death of King Edward VII. Black and white footage or photos of Edward VII, British royal ceremonies, London in mourning. On May 6, 1910, King Edward VII of the United Kingdom passed away after a brief illness. His death marked the end of the Edwardian Era, a time of peace, elegance, and imperial confidence. Edward had been a skilled diplomat, often called the peacemaker, for maintaining harmony among Europe's great powers. His passing deeply shook Britain and the world, and ushered in an uncertain future. May 1910, accession of King George V, coronation photos, young George V, royal family scenes. In the same month, George V, Edward's son, ascended the British throne. Unlike his father, George was more reserved and conservative. His reign would soon face major challenges: unrest in Ireland, growing labour strikes, and the looming threat of global war. He would lead Britain through World War I and oversee the beginning of the empire's decline. June-August 1910. An empire in transition. British colonies, protests in India and Africa, Edwardian Britain, Irish independence rallies. The British Empire in 1910 stood at its peak, but signs of strain were everywhere. In India, nationalist leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak fueled the call for independence. In South Africa, the Union of South Africa was officially formed in May, uniting British colonies under one government, but preserving white minority rule. Meanwhile, in Britain, labour strikes and political reform movements grew stronger, testing the monarchy's relevance in a changing society. September-October 1910. Portugal's Republican Revolution. Riots in Lisbon, Royal Palace, revolutionary flags, street demonstrations outside Britain. Another monarchy was collapsing in Portugal. Years of corruption, economic crisis, and public dissatisfaction led to revolution. By October 5, 1910, Portugal's 800-year-old monarchy was overthrown, and a republic was declared. This revolution marked the growing decline of monarchies across Europe, and a shift toward modern republics. October-November 1910. Science and social shifts. Early airplanes in flight, bustling factories, suffragette marches, Einstein at a chalkboard. Science and society were rapidly evolving. Aviation records were broken as pilots soared to new heights. Albert Einstein published groundbreaking work on radiation and quantum theory, reshaping modern physics. Women's suffrage movements gained momentum in the UK and US, with public protests and hunger strikes demanding equal rights. The world was not only changing, it was awakening. December 1910. Halley's Comet captivates the world. Artistic renderings of Halley's Comet. People looking at the sky, telescopes, dramatic newspaper headlines. In December, the return of Halley's Comet lit up the skies and imaginations. Visible to the naked eye, the comet sparked both wonder and fear. Some believed it was a sign of doom. Others saw it as a symbol of progress, a reminder of humanity's place in the vast cosmos. The comet united people across continents in a moment of shared awe, historical significance. Timeline from 1910 to World War I. Einstein's equations. Collapsing empires. 1910 was more than just the end of an era. It was the beginning of the modern age. The death of King Edward VII marked the end of Old World diplomacy. The reign of George V began amidst growing unrest and imperial challenges. The Portuguese Revolution signaled the collapse of monarchies across Europe. Advances in science, technology, and civil rights reshaped how people lived and thought. The world stood on the edge of transformation, and soon it would be forever changed. Key figures involved. Archival photos with captions. King Edward VII. His death ended an era of European diplomacy. King George V, a reserved monarch who would lead during wartime. Albert Einstein revolutionized modern physics with quantum theory. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, a voice for Indian self-rule. Portuguese republicans, who ended centuries of monarchy and established a new republic. Like, share, and subscribe to explore more powerful stories that shaped our world, year by year. Comment below. Do you think 1910 marked the true beginning of the modern world? Or was it just the calm before the storm?